So what about like fruit of the poison tree then?
What's that? You mean in the Bible?
No.
I can explain it. It's a doctrine in law. So basically, if they pull you over and it turns out the light wasn't out and it was actually fully functional and actually bright, if they find marijuana, they can't use it in court because they pulled you over illegally. So anything that they discover after illegally searching you, right, because it is a seizure and then a search. If the seizure was illegal, the search, it can't be used in court.
Okay.
It's basically like saying like if they presented some stuff that's untrue, then in a court of law, everything they said from that point on would be dismissed as possibly untrue, and their testimony would be null and void. It's called fruit of the poison tree.
Well, for me, the reason why I think it's credible is just because I think the conspiracy that you would need, the worldwide conspiracy of every government to all agree on this would be so vast that it just seems implausible that they would all be lying.
Yeah, all the governments, if they were to work together, like people would all like dress the same and wear like the same mask. And we've never seen anything like that, right? And if people couldn't like work together, like Santa Claus would be like all over the world, right? There's no way that many people could be in on it, right?
Right.
You do understand that that's fallacious logic, right? Like that's not actual logic. It's flawed logic to think that that's, a logical reason to think that the Earth is not flat just because the government of the world couldn't all be in on it. I mean, that's kind of silly, right? It doesn't actually make sense.
I mean, I'm sure you could get every government to collaborate in a conspiracy for something potentially, but I just feel like the shape of the Earth is so insignificant that why would they bother?
Insignificant.
What makes you think it's insignificant?
Because ultimately, whether it's flat or round isn't going to change anything for these governments.
Well, I mean, if it's insignificant, why would you even be here? What's the point in you even being in the server? I mean, wouldn't you just be wasting your time here talking to us?
Well, it's a nice discussion, and I like to, I don't know, it's fun.
Do you believe in any conspiracy, quote-unquote, conspiracy theories?
I believe in the Great Replacement conspiracy theory.
You're talking about White War 1, White War 2?
What?
What is the Great Replacement?
It's a conspiracy theory that the governments in the Western governments are intentionally increasing the rate of immigration.
Okay, moving on.
Diet woke.
It's actually called the Kalergi Plan. Kalergi came out of the college in Germany that Freud and others are from. What's that college? The Frankfurt School. Yeah, the Kalergi Plan is what he's talking about. But moving on. Back
Do you believe in chemtrails?
I do not believe in chemtrails.
Damn.
I haven't measured any chemtrails or, taken any chemical samples or anything.
How would you do that, though?
Is the horizon physical?
No.
Does the horizon move? Does the horizon move?
No.
I think these are questions you're supposed to ask him after certain other questions. Like, how far should the horizon be on a globe Earth at 1 foot observer height?
He conceded he said the horizon doesn't move. That's retarded.
The horizon is just an optical illusion from the light into your eyeball.
Does the horizon change position?
Look, sorry, dude. No offense, but I don't even know what direction you're trying to go with this. So let me just ask you: at 1 foot observer height, when you're 1 foot above the surface of the ground or the water, how far away should the horizon be?
Depends on the refractive index.
He doesn't. Oh fuck.
Care to elaborate?
Well, there's something called refraction, which can bend light in a weird way that makes you see farther past the horizon or past the.
Oh, I hate to bring this up,
Okay.
but earlier,
So are you
just real
talking
fast. I'm
about
sorry.
one medium or two media?
What?
Are you talking about one medium or two media?
Well, you have a gradient of temperature within the air, so it'd be the one medium but different temperatures.
Okay, but one medium, right?
Well, depending on if you wanted to say that a different temperature air was a different medium, I don't know, but it's like a gradient. So
yeah, but it's not. It's not. So air is one medium. So refraction requires two media. So what you're talking about has nothing at all whatsoever to do with refraction, because it requires one medium next to another medium, two media, not just one.
It either requires multiple media or it requires a temperature or pressure gradient within one media.
No, that would just be something else. You need to find another word to describe that, because that word would not be refraction.
That's not true.
There is a word for it. It's just not refraction.
No, that's called refraction.
Oh, okay. So can you post the citation for this refraction that happens in one medium that you speak of? Can you give us any information about this, like where you're getting this information from?
Well, I mean, when you have a gradient of temperature and pressure, that could be classified as a different medium if you want to talk about it like that.
No, it can't be. It can if you're crazy and you're not speaking English properly. It could be, but we're trying to be sane and we're trying to speak English properly. So no, it can't be.
Well, I can show you refraction happening in a aquarium filled with sugar water. Is that one medium?
Here, another word for it would be distortion. Do you want to just use the word distortion instead of refraction or turbulence? You could use the word turbulence.
Sure, we can call it distortion if you want.
Yeah, or maybe the word fluctuation was something. Yeah, turbulence. Let's just call it that. Okay, so are you saying that turbulence can cause us to see around corners? Yes or no?
Well, I don't know anything about turbulence, but what I do know is that light does bend throughout the atmosphere.
To allow us to see around a ball, the edge of a ball, right? That's what you're implying, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you have any demonstration of this or any citation of this?
Well, I can show you a video of somebody bending a laser beam with a hot iron.
That's lovely, but we're just talking about the medium of air and light moving through one medium.
Yeah, it's moving through the medium of air, and the hot iron is just changing the temperature of the air.
Oh, okay. So is this a demonstration of being able to see around a corner?
Yeah,
through one medium?
It moves the trajectory of the laser beam, so it ends up in a different place. Yeah.
Okay. So
can you show
do you
me
have
where
any
1,000? Sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, you say whatever you're going to say.
Can you show me where there's several thousand degrees, like iron ingots glowing in nature?
Well, there are temperature gradations within the over the ocean water and stuff like that.
Right, but how hot was the iron compared to the air around it? So the air around it was about 100 degrees, right? And let's say iron, it probably melts at around 2,800 right degrees, something like that. So let's say we kept it below that, 2,000 degrees. That's a pretty big increase. There's no increase like that happening over ocean water.
Oh yeah, but the it's a much smaller required change in direction to go over the horizon. Like because it's a gradual change over a long period.
Do you demonstrate that, or is that just what you're assuming is happening? Because we actually see the thing, and you're claiming that we're not actually seeing it, but we can see it. And you're claiming that, well, it's due to this is the reason you could see it. You know, correlation isn't causation, right? So it's a lot harder to prove something, right? So in order to prove something, you kind of have to demonstrate it, right? Like earlier you said that the guy, Al-Biruni, like he measured the radius of the Earth, right? Do you know how he did it? Any chance?
Yeah, so as he went up in altitude, he measured the drop in the horizon.
Right, the refracted horizon, right?
Right.
So it works for you when you need it to, but when you don't need it to, like it don't work, right? Do you not see the contradiction there?
Well, as you go up in elevation, the refractive index actually decreases.
Really, as you're looking through more layers of density, it decreases. Is that what you're claiming? You know what actually causes refraction to begin with? When you have different densities, the light travels at different speed. And when it does that, it travels in different direction. That's the actual cause of refraction. Like looking through a glass and the fish is over there when you think it's over there, right? But it appears to be over there, but it's actually over there, right? It's a different density of the glass in the atmo that causes the extreme refraction. So is there any different layers of density between, I don't know, the top of a mountain and the horizon, which would be where the sky meets the ground, so at ground level?
Yes, there is a pressure gradient leading all the way up into the atmosphere, which eventually reaches zero, and then you're in outer space.
Okay, you made another claim. Doesn't nature abhor a vacuum, and now you're claiming that there's a place you can go where there's nothing?
Well, you just agreed that there's different pressures, right?
Yeah, but you claim,
Yeah,
he claim, Larry, he claims zero. Zero. Is there such a thing like nothing?
I've
Nothingness?
never heard of a perfect vacuum. Not
Yeah.
even a near perfect vacuum, not in nature. I've never seen one, that's for sure.
As you go up in altitude, the pressure continues to decrease.
Well, how high do you got to go before it reaches zero?
Around 80 to 100 kilometers.
So you're telling me up there, there's no gas, or very, very little, right?
Very little, yeah.
And Jupiter doesn't expand to fill that available space? It's just a lump of gas in the middle of nothing?
Well, Jupiter has very high gravity, and therefore it sucks the gas back down.
Gravity sucks now, does it? I'll turn it back.
He moves
So,
when he walks.
if I got a propane tank and I open it, is the gravity going to keep the 250 psi from spewing out?
Expensive thing.
It will keep it from escaping the atmosphere.
Oh, that's not what I asked. Can you demonstrate gas not
Stuff that goes through.
spewing out to fill the available volume till it reaches equilibrium ever?
Yeah, I can show
Like
you.
anytime? Oh, I'd love to see it.
All right, let me find the video just a second. All right, here's a video of gas pressure next to a vacuum. I just posted it.
All right. Well, I posted,
They-
you
I was
know,
wondering.
a video.
I was just wondering if I was missing
Sorry, bro.
No,
Yeah, I posted a video of the opposite happening. So which one of our videos is true?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Copy of it.
So gas doesn't fill the available volume, and at the same time, it's also true that gas does fill the available volume until they reach equilibrium.
That's why it looks that way.
That's both true.
Wow, I got a meme for this. Holy shit.
Would you agree that gas goes from high pressure to low pressure?
To get
Somebody else take over from me. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm actually, I was listening to something else before this conversation. What are we talking about?
the model
He went to gas pressure.
that they
All
make
right, gas pressure, the model. Which model do you mean?
Well, the question is, does gas pressure can gas pressure exist next to a vacuum?
You have zero evidence
That's a
of
really
gravity.
bad. That's a bad description of what. If you're talking about the second law, are you referring to that, right? Can
Are you
gas-
saying that gravity is contained in the gases? Is that what he's saying? Gravity?
So I mean, it's just like describe it better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you have zero scientific evidence of gravity.
Well, things
Yeah,
fall,
can
do
you-
they not?
Can you post the scientific
Helium balloon.
paper?
Things fall. Helium balloon.
Well,
Now what?
that's
It's not a
buoyancy.
description. It's not a description.
So you said things
Crossfire,
fall.
what is in
Helium
that
balloon.
video?
I destroyed you in 2 words.
Well, yeah, but other things fall, don't they?
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah, but
Stuff
yeah,
falls
but
sometimes.
yeah, but 2 words. Yeah, but right. Right. Yeah, but what? I mean, that implies something, right? So tell us what. Yeah, but tell us about tell us what happens after the but.
If something's denser than air, it will fall.
Well, no, air. What do you mean by air?
You know, the stuff you breathe?
Right. So I mean, there's a lot of molecules and stuff in air. So, I mean, you can't just say air and as if. I mean, you can describe air in certain situations. I mean, for the most part, what we're talking about. Hold on. What we're talking about is in nature. When we talk about air, we're talking about. We're not manipulating air. We're talking about what happens in nature. So, tell us about air.
20% oxygen, 79% nitrogen, a little bit of argon or something like that.
What about the air in China?
Air in China. Well, I mean, in remote areas of China, I mean, the air wouldn't be affected by, all of the, the industries and the, and it's the same way in America. Whatever. I mean, we're not necessarily talking about that. We're talking about more.
Tell us, Helio. What are we talking about? Tell us.
As a matter of fact, I'm just coming a little bit ignorant into the conversation but I
Stop with
actually
the excuses.
Really. So all right. So, hey, Jimsy, what are we talking about?
I would say Frost Knight. Do you have any experiment that can validate gravity?
Actually, I do.
Can you name the experiment that validates gravity, please?
I can't name it. I don't have a name for it.
All right. So, do you have any evidence that any type of gravity? I don't know which type you might want to introduce. Do you have any evidence that any type of gravity would affect gas?
Hold on, we can't let him get away with posting what he posted because he showed in the video that they got this thing and it's in a vacuum. and it's got plasma around it. Now, plasma is using the electromagnetic force, right, which is an actual force that, I don't know, you could pick up cars with, like defying all sorts of gravity, all kinds of ways of magnets every day, all day long. In fact, gravity ain't shit when it comes to magnets, right? Electromagnetism is like hundreds of times stronger than so-called gravity. Gravity is a weak force. It's very weak. So weak that you need black holes and dark matter to make it work out mathematically at the galactic level. That's how weak.
Yeah,
Right?
Larry, the strangest thing is I can just jump in for 3 seconds and I already know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
You did good, bro. I was watching the video that he posted. That's why I was quiet, because I was, honestly looking at what he had posted. But yeah, kind of cheating there using the electromagnetic force and plasma, right? Because we're talking about gravity, because you guys don't believe in the electric universe. It took you guys forever to even consider that the Aurora Borealis was an electromagnetic phenomenon, because the guy who first came up with it, you guys said that he was crazy. So now that you guys are catching on, yeah, there's electromagnetic forces in the universe, but you guys don't believe that out in space. You think that it's all gravity. So you can't do the old switcheroony when the electric universe proponents have been telling you for years, and you guys are just now catching on.
Well, Larry, the point of the video was not to say that that is the same thing as gravity, but just to point out that it is possible for a force to create a situation where gas pressure is adjacent to a vacuum.
If we're wrong, go ahead and give the details and give us a detailed explanation of how we're wrong about this. We're giving you this opportunity.
Wrong about what?
Is that a 10 to 17 negative torr vacuum in that video?
Well, I'm just wondering. I mean, 10 to the negative 17 torr. I mean, he's talking about outer space? Where is this? It's really a differential property rather than there is a deeper discussion about this. If you want to talk about where does the air pressure come from? Or where do you think the oxygen comes from? It comes from Earth.
Well, someone asked earlier.
Every single gas molecule comes from Earth. Doesn't come from outer space. You know that, right?
I mean, yeah, for billions of years, it's been.
Yes. The answer is yes. There is no other answer you can give. So
I mean, it depends on what you mean by where it came from. Like, you mean like billions of years ago?
No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about right now. Talking about right now.
I mean, right now it's on Earth for sure.
Do you think there's oxygen in outer space?
Well, sometimes.
Really? Where? Tell me about it.
Well, there's like what do they call them? Like comets or whatever, the ones that are made of water, and then water has like oxygen and hydrogen. So
cool story. And do you have any physical evidence for that?
Yeah, you can like see the trail of steam pouring off of it when it flies past.
With which instrument?
Telescope.
Oh, a telescope. So you can just optically view steam coming off of a comet.
Yep.
Okay. Well, how about if I don't believe you or these supposed astrophysicists?
Buy a telescope and wait till the next one and take a look.
All right. So if I buy a telescope, then I'll be convinced.
Well, maybe you'll come up with another hypothesis. I don't know.
Well, hey, continue, gentlemen.
Yeah, I just wanted to, point out that what he's talking about here in the video, it's plasma physics, right? So plasma physics is different than, the physics of gas, right? In the way that gas, even though the two seem to be related, plasma is totally different than gas, right? Unexcited gas particles are just now very exciting. And the excited ones, they're pretty exciting because they act different, right, than the regular gas particles. So